This midday, two businesses in one southern Kentucky town were broken into overnight.
And police are now looking to see if there's a connection. A hardware store suffered a lot of loss, and someone broke into a beauty salon. WKYT's Phil Pendleton talked to one business owner who has a lot of questions. It's our top story at noon.
Corbin police are looking into two separate businesses that were victims of crime early Tuesday morning. Now, what happened at each business was different, yet similar enough that police believe that it's possible that the people could have actually hit both of these businesses. Now, Alicia Bullock says she came to work Tuesday morning, discovered a strange sight within her store. Items were taken and stacked in a garbage can. Some other items were missing. Police were called, as they say, around the same time. The W.D. Bryant Ace Hardware reported a delivery truck, lawnmowers, and a pressure washer were all stolen. Now, Bullock says they didn't take anything of great big monetary value from her, but actually items that are to her truly priceless.
My dad's first dollar. Oh, Lord. My dad's first dollar that he ever made from 60-some years ago. He had been packing it around that long, and he died 3 years ago, so they got that.
Police say at this point they do not have suspects or really persons of interest, but they say at one of these businesses at the hardware store, there was some surveillance video of at least one person in a black coat, but they don't know if possibly others were with that person or not. In Corbin, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
Now, police say the items taken from the hardware store were likely worth more than $40,000.